Oh my goodness! Welcome to the show. Look what we just reached. We have reached over 16,000 cases of COVID-19. Look at this. Over 16,000. Close to 300 deaths. 40 deaths away from 300. And now we're getting close to 600K. We're getting close to 10,000K of deaths here in the U.S. None have recovered. We're getting close. We are getting close. And look at this. Harris County is getting closer to 100,000. This one's getting closer to 60. This one's getting close to 35. Why, you might ask? No one learns how to use a mask. It's a big deal. How many times have I told you on the show to wear a mask? A lot of times. You know why? It's a big deal. If I gotta wear a mask, you gotta wear a mask. If you go shopping, you need to wear a mask at all times. No ifs, ands, buts, or excuses. Period. I'm not going to be doing this show every day about the COVID situation while people are outside not wearing masks. The reason that is because no one knows how to wear a mask. It is a big deal. It's the CDC. This is the CDC talking. And yet more schools are even more schools we'll talk about later. And I'm telling you this now. You must wear a mask every day. When you go to work, when you go out shopping, when you go pick up your kids from school, etc. You must wear a mask every day of the week. This is no joke. You must wear a mask every day of the week. And I'm really serious here. If you don't wear a mask, you could get COVID. You could get COVID, and you or someone you love could be at risk of death because you decided to go out without a mask. I've seen plenty of people out there without masks. Homeless people. They can't afford masks. If you see homeless people not wearing masks, you already know they already got COVID. It's because all the damn Chinese want to drag COVID over here to the U.S. and raise the numbers. There needs to be a law put in place during this COVID pandemic that would prohibit all Chinese from entering the U.S. unless they have tested positive. If they tested positive for COVID, they cannot enter America. If they don't, then they can enter. If your fever over 100 degrees, you got to go back. Board the next plane back to China. And if you think I'm being a racist, if you think I'm offensive, then it may be true. But this is from an inspiration from a video on YouTube, which I'm not going to explain or give out any information. Because if you get COVID, they could just send your tail to China to join the COVID crew. But unless there's vaccines needed for this situation, we need to make sure that we have masks, we wash our hands, we don't touch our face, we sanitize our hands every day of the week. So after you wash it, if you're working at a fast food restaurant, after you wash your hands, dry your hands, wait for a few seconds for them to dry, and then when they get a quarter or 3/4 dry, you use your hand sanitizer to sanitize your hands. Then you can go to your station wherever you want. That's how I do it. It's what the CDC recommends, and the state of Texas. All events have been canceled and all events have been canceled because no one takes precautions. Just like volleyball. Volleyball is back in session. Football is back in session for all. But for school, they're for online learning they're going to extend it until October. They're going to extend online learning until October 5th, which is 2 months from now. Which is about 2.25 months from now. So for like 2.25 months, what you need to do is make sure that your child is ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is the first day of school for those who probably love you. If you don't have a Chromebook, it is too late. If you don't have access to your internet, you didn't get your Chromebook, it is too late. Today was the last day for your child to get a Chromebook for the remote learning. And the same thing goes for yearbooks. That was the last day for yearbooks to be presented because of COVID. So I stress to you this. Don't be skipping remote school. I mean, there's still truancy laws out there. And if you decide to skip school, skip your remote learning class for today because you don't feel like doing it, that's your choice. But if you make that choice, it's in your attendance record. Attendance is important, and so are your grades. If you don't meet the attendance requirements, you can't graduate, nor your grades. If you don't get good grades, you can't graduate. It goes on your permanent record. I'm not saying this, it's what Mr. Crenshaw said. I take his word for it. In fact, I take everyone's word for it, and you should too. Alright, coming up a bit later, Dr. Pepper shortage. First it's TP, now Dr. Pepper. What's going on here? We'll have that for you in a moment as Give Me a Break continues after this. Up front tonight, extending the first day back in the classroom until October. This comes after a shock when the Flower Bluff School District says to extend school until October 5th. This was at yesterday's school board meeting that happened, where they said we need to extend it. So they went to TA and they said it, all this, and then that was before or after they said about freezing their tax assets because of their insurance. I know it's not something that Dr. Freeman would do, but if he was still alive, he would have reacted the same way I would have reacted. Or if like I was there, I would have had the same reaction as I did. So that's what Flower Bluff ISD is doing, and that's what the Flower Bluff School District is doing. They're extending it. Sorry if I'm stuttering. That is what the Flower Bluff School District is doing for all people who want to get their kids back in the classroom. So they were going to plan on doing it, sending people back after Labor Day, but they switched it up 2 months. So in 2 months, your child can have a choice of going back to the classroom or still doing remote learning. And for more information on extension for, and this is just one, if you want more information about all schools extending virtual learning until October, you can visit jcarmy67.wixsite.com/givemeabreak, and it will be posted. But then after that, and along with that, there's going to be a poll. Do you support, would you want to send your child back in the classroom in October? Or would you want to continue doing virtual learning? That question will also be posted at jcarmy67.wixsite.com/givemeabreak when I have time. But then, so I have that for you. and then come back to me, because there's been everyone's hoarding Dr. Pepper here, and it's the shortage of Dr. Pepper. Everyone loves Dr. Pepper, but they're hoarding it like toilet paper. Stick around. When the coronavirus started, people were just hoarding toilet paper, hoarding the water, hoarding food, drinks, water, Chef Boyardee's. And now comes Dr. Pepper, the very latest. Dr. Pepper shortage, everyone's favorite drink, including mine too. All stores have a shortage on Dr. Pepper. The latest reason is because the whole virus is happening, people are hoarding their favorite drink. And the person who created it probably had the virus. No one knows the mystery. And if someone knows the mystery, then it will be answered. But the thing you have to remember is you can't be hoarding everything. I mean, you got to save it for everyone. What if somebody else wants Dr. Pepper? What if somebody else wants What if somebody else wants something to drink? What's the point? The whole point in this is not hoarding everyone's favorite drink. Have one for you and have one for a friend. Don't be hoarding it all for yourself and saving it for the virus, because your children require sugary drinks. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter here. I mean, there are people out there that are desperately wanting a Dr. Pepper from everywhere, and now they're shortening. All stores are shortening it out because they're hoarding on Dr. Pepper. I understand that you guys like Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper the best, but I don't go out hoarding it all. I don't go hoarding it all for my family here, because some of my family members do not like Dr. Pepper. They like Powerade, but I don't go hoarding all the green line Powerade at Walmart or H-E-B. No, I don't do that. But still, don't hoard all the Dr. Pepper and don't hoard all the toilet paper. This is not another hurricane. It's not another hurricane evacuation. You don't need to go, oh my God, I gotta go get some Dr. Pepper. Go to the first store, none. Another store, none. And then finally, all the way out of town, you go to a great store that has a lot of Dr. Pepper in it. You hoard it all, cut in line, get all the Dr. Pepper, and all the people in front of that line have the virus. And yet, people don't care. You don't care about everyone else. I mean, you want to make them starve and thirsty? Because you made a choice. You made that choice, you chose that consequence. There needs to be limits. Walmart, H-E-B, and all other stores need to make limits on Dr. Pepper. And if that doesn't happen, nothing else is. I mean, when when this virus started, all stores were limited on how many they can buy. And then the same thing happened to all those stores. Look, rules are rules, whether you like it or not. So if you were in the town for some Dr. Pepper, the biggest thing ever is go find another soda drink you like. There's Sprite, there's Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Sprite, Diet Dr. Pepper, Tropical Berry Sprite, only at McDonald's, Diet Dr. Pepper, etc. Fanta, root beer, Pepsi, Mountain Dew. There's all other kinds of sodas. But your favorite is Dr. Pepper. You're at least going to have to wait until they start bringing in more. Which I don't know when, unless he's recovered, Someone has to figure out the Dr. Pepper. Someone has to figure out how to make the Dr. Pepper. I mean, it's just carbonated water or high fructose corn syrup, but there's a lot of other ingredients in that. Just remember that next time. Next on the program, this one's for parents. Do you homeschool your kids? Would you like to find somewhere good to do your homeschooling in? Well, there is a place here in Corpus Christi called Homeschool Academy, and we'll look at that when we return. Parents, let me ask you a question. When you think of homeschool, do you think of at home? When you think of you sit at home, think of your home as a school, like your living room, and then your teacher, and all that thing, but wouldn't you rather go someplace nice? Well, there is someplace nice. It's called Homeschool Academy. The director there, that is possibly what the director said. I mean, it's a place for all homeschoolers. But just looking at that, like, what idiot came up with this? Doesn't anyone know what homeschool means? Homeschool means you sit at home like if think about it when you go into school. You sit at home and your parents are the teacher, and you're the student. Find a great suitable environment for people to teach, whether it be in the living room, the kitchen, whatever. Why do you have to create an academy? I understand that it's going to help out students and stuff, but if this is what you wasted, but this is what we wasted our tax dollars on building this, we don't need that. It's a great place. I've not been there, but that is what Jeff Duboff looked at. There are resources out there. We don't need this kind of resource. Parents, if you want to homeschool, do homeschool. Don't go to this place. If it's a great place for your child, if your child wants to go there because of specialized teaching, that's your child's choice. But I would not recommend you go there because of wasted tax dollars. The people who created and the person who owned it, idiots. Don't they realize that homeschooling is homeschooling? It's a house, home, living room, parents of the teacher, the kids of the student. Same shit. The same principle. The biggest thing you have to remember here is that you don't need to create a homeschool academy. This is wasted by our tax dollars. We pay taxes, some of the tax money goes to the schools, but this homeschool academy that they created, I mean, look at this. Homeschool Academy. They've wasted a lot of our tax dollars on this. Doing this. Private tutoring. Middle school grades. This is for all the private grades. But what is the point here? I mean, if your child wants to go there, if you want to send your child there, then that's a choice for all parents. But if your child still says, I still want to go there, like this place, well, that's fine. But the main reason I gotta tell you about is this. I mean, look. This is all they're doing. I mean, what about social distancing? What about masks? Yes, there are masks. When I look at this, it's like, yes, there are masks. What about 6 feet? Is there going to be 6 feet there? Absolutely not. No one has even spaced out 6 feet with a fucking ruler. Still, what you have to understand is that I can't, if I go there and see what's going on, where it's located, I would find out for myself. This is what we wasted our tax dollars on. I don't think it is, but if this is what we wasted our tax dollars on for Homeschooling Academy, you should homeschool yourselves to know the difference between homeschooling and a regular school. Educate yourselves. You don't need to go a homeschooling academy. You need to understand what homeschooling means. As a matter of fact, if you look at the definition of homeschool, if you Google the definition of homeschooling, it's the education of children at home by the parents. That's what it means. There's a difference. That's a school. That still is public school to me right there. But home is like this. This is homeschooling. This is homeschooling. That's a public school. That should not have happened. If that director right there watches this show, you need to know what I'm talking about here. I'd be asking, like, what if I told you there was a difference between homeschooling and public schooling and regular school? What does it mean to you to homeschool? Does it mean to build an academy? I don't care. Parents, if this is what your children want, I don't care. But if you decide to homeschool your kids, better be at home, not at this place. I don't care. More action when we come back. Welcome back. Days ago, a guy named William wanted to go to the beach. He bought his permit. But when he soon realized the beach was closed due to the county judge, he decided, I'm going to fight this thing. I'm going to sue them. You know who he sued? He sued the county judge. He sued the county judge. He sued him. There's no reason. If this is what the judge wants, this is what the judge wants. There is no arguing in this. I mean, I can't wait for the people to react about this. I mean, but two people in it, Mayor Joe McCobe, Barbara Canales, decided to close the beaches. So he decided to sue for breach of contract. But let's see what the judge says. Let's see what Judge Barbara Canales says. But we don't know when that time is. But Mayor Joe McCobe was right. They can sue and they have rights to sue. But does not mean you got two parking permits. If you buy two parking permits, you decide to park on the beach. But you can't sue. If this is what the mayor and the judge wants, there is no argument. You can't sue them. I can't see the way. If this is what the judge wants, you can't argue with that. If you really think about this, if you really think about it, let me tell you. If you really think about it, if you really think about going to the beach, you need to park somewhere where you can go. You can't find open space. You can't park in the dunes. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. So you sued for breach of contract? I can't wait to see what happens when you guys go to court. And so will I. Virtually. And Give Me a Break Court TV Network exclusive. Virtual Give Me a Break Court TV Network exclusive. We'll be right back. That's it for the night. But coming up tomorrow on the show, we're going to learn more about this lawsuit here. Tomorrow, Give Me a Break Thursday, we're going to learn more about this lawsuit. Plus, I might have a chance to talk to the person who sued to give him his side of the story. He may refuse me, but if there's a chance, he could tell me his side of the story of why he sued for a breach of contract. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow for Give Me a Break Thursday. For all of us here on YouTube, stay safe, take care of yourself, take care of others. Have a great night.